First off, you need to do as much research as possible if you're doing something historical. You want to make sure that, the markings and the nose art is as accurate as possible. And in World War II, where we're dealing with photographs, it's a snapshot in time. That doesn't mean that at the end of the war or of its career, the amount of bombs were portrayed in that photograph. So at that particular time, whoever took that picture, that's what the aircraft represented. And there could be multiple photographs when it comes to historical research. So we have to choose which one to use in order to do the accurate representation of the final portrait or the nose art per se. So after the research is done, we start working on scaling up the artwork that needs to be done. Obviously, we have to figure out what the color is because we're dealing a lot with black and white film and or photographs. So we have to determine what the colors are, the color scheme that is being portrayed. And that's a whole nother investigation in researching and trying to figure that out. But in my book, I illustrate that pretty detailedly on how that is done, or how at least I do it. So once that part has been done, the artwork gets inputted into a computer, and then whereby I can then make stencils, cut the stencils out or plot them out in a plotter and have them printed out and make a paint mask and vinyl and that kind of thing, depending on if it's going to be a large piece or large lettering. Sometimes I'll spray it on and then detail everything else in brushes. So I like traditionally to use the brushes of the period, the paints of the period and era, because what we're trying to do, and the reason why people commission me to do work, is they want the so-called old school look, meaning that everything was hand painted versus airbrush or modern techniques that are being practiced today. So once the stenciling is done, I'll put it up on where the proper placement will be on the aircraft, and then I'll do a line drawing, basically tracing it for my marks where they need to be, basically just guidelines. So where I need to paint and where to stop, where where the lines are, where the hands and arms are, and just wherever the elements need to be. The mask comes off, or the template comes off, and then I'll commit and start painting the elements background to foreground generally, or whatever seems to suit me at the time.